coming to you live from the sunburnt country. It's time for Destiny Down Under.
G'day, my name is Long Power Slave, and some of the horrific things that come out of your mouth immediately before we go live are just, I fucking worry about you, man. Oh my God. And fucking Etsy, you're encouraging it. I'm going to talk to you after the podcast. Anyway, welcome to episode 143 of the Destiny Down Under podcast. How you going, dudes? I'm joined by these boring fucks as per usual. Look at them sitting there, barely sitting upright.
Yeah, you know, Friday night's always an interesting podcast and I feel like tonight especially, I am so close to breaking. It could go either way. You could see a very aggressive violent, or you could just see a broken fucking shell. And just then when Sloth said the most dumbest shit before we went live, and I went the other way, I just giggled. I couldn't hold it together at all. It's been a fucking rough day, that's for sure. I don't drink beer often. The fact that I've got a beer is indication of the fucking day that's been.
Yeah, only no hope is drink beer, right?
As he swigs a beer, Sloth picks up a bloody Stein-sized pint. Oh God!
What are you drinking anyway, mate? Peronis?
Yeah.
Yeah, good on you.
Oh,
No, fair
Canadian
enough.
Club and lemonade.
Anyway, Matt's had a fucking shit day. We're going to get to that later. We're kind of angry about it, but yeah, there's definitely going to be some rage later on in the program. Aside from that, how have you been? You okay? You surviving? Oh, Sloth's already vaping like a fucking douche. God, look at him. He looks like a fucking dragon from like some kind of shit carnival ride. You'd go on at the show.
It looks like a fucking a sci-fi channel fucking C movie or something like that.
Oh, mate, fucking D movie.
Z
All right,
movie.
well, look, Matt's broken and on the brink of tears. Slothy, how are you? You okay?
Yeah, I'm all right, eh? My wife and I celebrated our 14-year anniversary on Wednesday.
I didn't know where that was going. That's
No,
good, mate.
celebrated
Congratulations.
14 years. So she's put up with me for 14 years. So shout out to Mrs. Sloth. And yeah, outside of that, fucking vaping.
It's not funny when you rip on yourself. He's taking the power back. Fuck.
I love when you ask Sloth the two highlights of your week: 14-year anniversary and vaping.
No, I've decided that I'm late to the party, I'm aware. But I have decided that I'm going to spread as much awareness as I can, and I'm going to so all of this month's stream revenue, so bits and subs and all that sort of thing, is going to Anthra, which is it's an awareness charity for tobacco related illnesses.
Oh,
so all of this month's revenue is going to that, and I'm going to be as open and as open and as try and give as much information out there as I can in regards to educating people about it. So that's my takeaway
With
from
your
it.
whole month of experience.
With my whole month of experience. Well, no. Like, let me be perfectly honest with you though. For the month that I've been off the darts and off the tobacco, my lungs have never felt better. Bar none. Like I can fucking breathe. Like that's the best thing about it. Is what it is.
So what was the acronym you threw at us again?
Anthra.
Anthra.
I'll look it up, bro.
Oh, I thought you said
nothing to do with anthem.
Nothing to do with
I thought he said.
anthrax.
That's a different type of illness.
Yeah, it's terminal, that
See,
one.
I normally wouldn't say that, but I'm a broken man at the moment. I've got no fucking.
I thought he said AMFA, which is a fake organisation me and a few mates made up back in the day so we could give each other job references. The Australian Moisture Farmers Association.
Wait, what?
Oh, I'll tell you off here.
Why?
It's probably fraud. Just leave it alone.
No, what did you do? You made up an organisation to give yourself references.
Yeah. The Australian Moisture Farmers Association. This is a Star Wars reference.
Australia's moisture.
And Luke Skywalker's fucking uncle and auntie are moisture farmers, yeah? So we were like, why isn't there a Australian Moisture Farmers Association? We live in the driest fucking continent on Earth. So we just, it just started as a joke, and then we fucking,
Did you have a website?
No, but I probably shouldn't be saying this on the podcast. I did have one of my mates' missus give me a reference for all the charity work that I did. What a fucking piece of shit I am.
Yeah, but the thing is, if someone believes that, well, fucking, they deserve to be conned, to be honest.
Ampha. What the fuck? Anyway, does anyone want to talk about Destiny? Just leave it. Talk about dumb things I've done, because I can fill an hour and a half of that.
Dude, your Tanya story still gets me. Like, I still think that goes down as the best story ever told.
It happened
on a podcast
this year. Yeah, it's probably the best one on the podcast, right? There's probably a few that can't make the podcast that are funnier, but from Sloth's time in the army.
Story, yeah. And the head story. Where I don't think it's going to make the podcast. Maybe a 200 episode.
Nah, Sloth, you can tell people at PAX. You can tell people.
I told it today on the stream, and that's where the fucking needle nose pliers and the fucking butt plug come from.
All right, let's do the thing. Holy fuck! I'm gonna play some music when I game face, boys. Oh yeah, right, good.
Ladies and gentlemen, the first thing straight off the bat is we now have a Facebook page. www.facebook.com/Destiny Down Under. If you don't have Twitter, or if you're not on YouTube and you want to share, if you're on YouTube and you want to share this around to your mates, like your family or whatever, actually just share it around to your mates. Don't share it to your family. It is.
You'll probably get yourself cut out of a will or something. Anyway,
it is facebook.com/Destiny Down Under. If you want to go check that out, we will post when we go live there. Well, Log will, because I don't have Facebook.
I didn't post when we went live. My bad. Anyway.
So if you want to go in there and share it around with your friends and family, tell your nan about it. Tell her to come in here and make a Twitch account and say g'day. We'll probably tell her to fuck off, but it is what it is. So if you want to do that, there's the link there. We'll put it in the description down below for those of you watching on YouTube, or check it out on Twitter for those of you on the audio only. Ladies and gentlemen, this week at Bungie, 19th of the 9th, 2019, the day before the raid on Area 51, where everyone is Naruto running, going, yeah, and, it's to try and get in that Area 51. Right, this week at Bungie, we went on record about our plans for the third year of Destiny 2. It takes a big team of talented people to make a game that truly feels alive. You can see a bunch of those team members either hard at work or talking about our goals in the newest Bungie ViDoc. If you missed this invitation into our studio, give it a watch now. Give it a watch again. Guys, the ViDoc, it's pretty fantastic. We'll talk about that after we really, really, really quickly get through the tour.
Yep. There's not that much on the top. It's pretty light.
Basically, they're on the Saturday, October 5th, the Sunday morning for us here in Oz, the raid will go live, the Garden of Salvation. Contest mode will be active for the first 24 hours as per the Crown of Sorrow World First Completion. While contest is active, players will face an enforced challenge throughout the raid. Power beyond certain levels will provide no additional advantage for a given fight. Example, for the first fight, power above 890 doesn't provide an advantage, and for the final fight, power above 920 does not provide an
I love
advantage.
challenge mode. I reckon it's the best thing they've done to raid.
Contest-
fucking forever.
Contest mode is
Is
fantastic.
it a contest mode? Sorry, called it challenge mode. Anyway,
yeah.
What a fucking.
Is my mic popping?
Yeah, bad.
Yeah,
but it's cool.
unfortunately. We have to just apologize to people. Maybe we'll be able to edit it out in some YouTube post production.
I highly doubt it.
We probably
highly
won't.
doubt it.
Just hang back from your
Sorry.
mic a little bit, Slothy. It's cool. I think it was peaking.
Okay.
Sorry, everyone.
All right. Right after the 24-hour period ends, we'll disable contest mode. Players can take full advantage of their higher power to overcome the raid descent challenges. I thought about this today. I would love to see contest as an active modifier to be able to make the raid as difficult as it was for the first time that you were doing it. I would love to see that as an active modifier that you can choose to say, I want contest active, and then you can do a contest trade whenever you want. I would love to see that.
That's a fucking cool idea.
Hmm.
Guaranteed drops or some shit, or like increased drops or whatever, because that does seem to be the way they're going with the nightfalls and stuff from what they were saying in the ViDoc. But cool.
So there's that. Matt, do you want to just read through that last little bit while I fucking fix this?
With the big show, is that what you're up to?
Yeah, mate, yeah.
Cool. So if you're at Guardian Con, now known as GCX, Big Show was there, and he pointed out during the world's first ceremony that they're not belts, they're titles. Is that a wrestling thing? Is
Yeah,
that
I think
what
it's
they call
you take out the title, right?
You take the title. And then Bungie said basically, nah. Bungie did, nah. We've already got titles in the game, Big Show. Let the game development, let us do the game development. We've got to keep calling them belts. So
We're back to the belts.
We're back to the belts.
We're back to the belts. I wouldn't tell him to his face, though. He's an immense
What's
man.
that?
I wouldn't tell him to his face. He's an immense man.
I saw on Twitter some bodybuilders like giving shit to gamers, and the main comment
I don't
was,
play
the Big
D&D.
Show will fucking squash you, you puny bug, and he plays Destiny or something like that.
Yeah, there was that dude. That dude. The fucking what was his name? I can't remember. He was a flog, but he's like, I don't play D&D, and then there's,
that's what I'm thinking of.
And then there was the dude
Joe
from
Manganiello, or whatever his name is. I probably just mangled his name, but like he's fucking jacked as shit, married to Sofia Vergara or whatever her name is. I'm due. Just fucking
and he's like,
oh wait, did he post a selfie back?
he
posted a cover,
a magazine cover.
of muscle when he was on the cover of Muscle and Fitness.
Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful.
How's that sound? Is that better or worse?
It is vastly improved. Thank fuck.
Okay, so I know what the issue is. Fantastic. Right. You can read the full rules of the contest mode in the TWAB. The gist is only final six players of the winning fire team to finish the activity will receive a belt. The first fire team to complete the raid and return to orbit will be declared the winner. Unlike in previous raids, the winning team will not receive an exotic drop from the final encounter. So don't rely on your loot stream to determine whether you may have won. We'll check our data before crowning the official winners from @Bungie.
Do you reckon they'll get one after? Like, I feel like that was cool that they all got. I know, I obviously see the issue with it, with poor Dado, but
yeah, that was a sad event.
That was.
I don't know. I don't really feel sorry for him. He's over there visiting Bungie. Fuck off.
Yeah, what's that about? Where's my fucking info?
You actually have to play Destiny not to get invited, Matthew.
It's all right. You're not invited to YouTube either. Get off.
I'm this close, Locke.
I don't know. What do you reckon, chat? Can we break him?
I think you probably will, man. I'm fucking close.
It's all right. We'll trigger him. It's cool. We're
Right.
supporting
So
Bungie.
they have the exclusive emblem, which looks like a green fucking tiled version of the Black Garden, and then they've got
How about the blue
another
one?
bathroom tile, a bathroom,
No,
a blue bathroom
I reckon
tile.
that's definitely a kitchen splashback.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, that is a kitchen splashback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
One of the Bungie devs is at home going, "Oh shit, I haven't done that banner for tomorrow."
What am I going to do?
Dinner.
Oh, I know what I'll do. Thanks, brothers. You fucking saved me again.
And just
that
to
little
just
square part looks very Zelda-like to me. You know that little. I don't know why.
you're
I'm
the
getting
only one
Zelda.
out of the three of us who's played The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild.
I haven't played
All
Breath
right,
of the
well-
Wild, but I played all the other ones.
Or what? I tuned out for a bit because I started thinking of Zelda. Sorry.
Me too. I kind of stopped listening. I was just thinking through the Ocarina of Time songs.
Then I started thinking the re-release is out now or very soon, like today or tomorrow.
Oh, fuck.
The
Shut
what's
up,
it called?
man. Shut up, man.
Oh,
Shut up, mate. Right.
This is
So there's
nicely. This is the difference. This is the difference with Australians. When you feel a little bit down, they'll tell you to shut the fuck up nicely, and when you're just normal, they'll say "shut up." Yeah, there you go.
Right. Applied science. So I'm not going to read this verbatim. There's been this annoying bug, the application bug on shaders, application bug on mods, application bug on ornaments, blah, 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 blah. That's been around for a long time. In update 2.5.0, they said that they had figured out a way to fix it. Basically, it comes down to it's an inconsistency of the, it comes from an overly aggressive safety feature designed to protect your character from accidental UI interactions. So they are adjusting that, which is kind of cool. It is very frustrating, at least for a couple of seconds. Then you get it done, just like, yeah, all right, cool, we're done, and then everyone forgets about it. But it is a kind of something that they're focusing on from where we are now is kind of cool. So thank you for that.
I think
Sandbox team.
the thing that exacerbated that was just the chalice, right? Like where it just became you had to do three things to get the thing that you wanted, and all of them could bug out like that. It was fucking annoying.
Reckoning motes, menage, like the fucking chalice, fucking shaders, mods, ornaments.
Yeah,
it's all fucked.
Thanks, shit.
Yeah. Right. Again, if you're moving from Battle.net to Steam, make sure that you have that all set up and all done. If you haven't got that set up, go and do it right now. I don't care what fucking time in the morning or the evening it is. Go and fucking do it, you lazy sod.
Yeah, you've clearly got time.
I even did it, and you know,
Yeah,
if
I mean,
I
if
can
you're
do it, you
sitting
can do
here
it.
listening to this shit podcast, just use your time better and go and do that.
Legit. Silver purchases on Battle.net have been locked out. Every existing player should be aware that in order for recent silver purchases to be successfully transferred to Steam, players must log into Destiny 2 on Battle.net before October 1st to claim their purchase silver. So make sure, ladies and gentlemen, that you have got all your silver in order, follow the Torbs letters and all that sort of thing. Do it. Now, this is a big one. Existing campaign progress and new light. Lastly, this week, we'd like to make players aware of how new light will impact their existing progress for the Red War, Curse of Osiris, Warmind, and Forsaken campaigns. On October 1st, after Destiny 2 Update 2.6.0 rolls out, players who have not completed any of the above Destiny 2 campaigns will have progress towards that campaign reset. For example, any player who has not completed the Forsaken campaign will have to restart the campaign for 2.6.0 on October 1st. It's worth noting, however, most endgame activities will be generally available to players as soon as they unlock their corresponding destinations. This is part of the accelerated player progression that will be introduced with the new light on October 1st. So, if you did just unlocked the basic the basic campaign stuff and you haven't finished on any of the campaigns in the original Battle.net Destiny, on October 1st, that'll all be reset. So you either have to A, finish the campaigns, or B, just suck it up and deal with it with your campaign progress being wiped. Okay? You've been told. No excuses. Play the fucking game.
Just go and do it. Just go and finish it.
Yeah.
Just stop procrastinating.
Full dad mode tonight, aren't you?
He's really stern.
And then the movie of the week, where I actually listened to on stream today, Oh Listener Mine,
pretty choice, isn't it?
By a group called Double Experience, and apparently it features Bones.
Good old Bonesy.
Bonesy. It's kind of nice. It's kind of a good song. It's original. It's an original song, and it's been edited over footage from Destiny 1 all the way through to Destiny Shadowkeep, which is very, very cool. I think it should be, you guys should go give it a watch. So congratulations to Double Experience and Bones.
And how about the
That's
runner-up?
a good fucking name, man. Double Experience. I envy that name.
Change your name to Triple Experience Games.
You know how long it took me to come up with Myelin games?
Oh, probably no one
isn't
knew.
it some
No
sort
one
of
knew.
fucking
No one knew.
like science thing?
Yeah,
it's
the
part of your
best
brain.
when I explained it to someone, the best comment was, "Oh, it's a fat cell." They're like, "Fat cell games."
That is now your nickname in every chat that I frequent.
Fat Cell Games.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the Working Jotun, which is a fantastic piece of cosplay. And I can't imagine how many hours went into that. It is really impressive.
It's deeply unsettling that someone would want to make a Jotun of all the guns in Destiny.
Yeah, right.
Right. I don't mean to judge.
Ladies and gentlemen, the ViDoc. Where did you get these notes from, Log?
I wrote them.
Bullshit.
No, I wrote them. That's why they're barely coherent.
Do we believe him, Matt? Do we believe him?
I wrote them.
This would be the first episode out of 143 where Log did his own research.
Do you want to know why? Because there
No
was
one
nothing
else
on
had
Reddit.
done it.
No one else had done it, so I had to do it. But I don't know. I just punched out fucking notes as I was watching it. It's, yeah.
Okay, go on, hit me.
Right. I don't know. I mean,
Well, you wrote it.
These are supplementary.
You wrote it? No, you fucking wrote it. You read it.
Shut up, you vaping tit. Sitting there, fucking. You look like a bloody potpourri, fucking shit in the corner, burning bloody. I don't know where I was going with that. Potpourri. I meant like a vape. You know those things that you put in your room, kids' room, when they're sick.
I got it.
Why potpourri of all fucking things? You don't burn that
I don't
shit.
know. I really don't know.
I meant like a humidifier. That was what I was going for. Anyway, I've failed catastrophically. Yeah. I don't know. I think I might just quit the podcast now and move on with my life.
Go on, get off. All right.
I'm just going to do
ViDoc
Matt.
notes.
Here's my impression of Matt. All right, no. Look, let's just quickly have a conversation about what we thought of the ViDoc in general, because these notes were just purely to supplement that, like just these little launching off points that we can jump onto.
You've made him cry, mate.
The most interesting thing for me from the ViDoc is they sort of confirmed the nightmares.
I know, right?
Yeah,
that was it.
They sort of confirmed the Shadow Guardians, basically, that they're traumas from the past.
Spooky ghosts.
And they can spooky ghosts, yeah. And Eris is speaking with them. That's her dead fire team, but it's all sort of part of a trick, which we'll get to in a sec with the narrative preview. But yeah, they dropped that big clue in the ViDoc.
I thought it was pretty
You're
awesome.
all
How,
insufferable.
Yeah. So
yeah, that's a
do you know
fucking
what that
quote.
means? Do you know? Shout out to I think it was Skittles on my Twitter. Do you know what he brought up? Well, that could
Are
mean.
you about to tell me what insufferable means after 143 episodes of this fucking podcast with you, Ben? Anyway, go on.
No,
Fucking
No.
rich.
no.
coming from you,
Okay.
Luke.
Let me, as I normally do with you two drongos, lead you to the answer, because then you like to, so you feel a bit smarter.
Matt,
Yeah.
do you remember that time where Log and I had to explain that shit to you?
Oh,
Like
we're
a
not going
fucking
back. Can we-
5-year-old?
Oh my God, Sloth, you're down a drain. Your fucking service has been interrupted.
Stay in the sewer wherever you are, all right?
Take it out
Keep
of Splinter.
smoking your vape pen.
This is the shittest podcast of all time.
Oh no. Okay. So if they're traumas from our past, right? They're ghosts haunting us. Okay. And Eris has her fire team that she lost to Crota. They're not actually really like Veltalo, Omega, but whoever's Savathun, who's playing the trick, Oryx's sister, is using them to torment Eris. And some of them is emotional torment, and some of it's also physical, like the nightmares actually come back to life as well. So, what would be a traumatic event to torment us, the Guardian? Who would they bring back?
I don't know, like year one Cryptarch.
Oh, I think fucking Destiny 2 Forsaken. Year one crypto.
Come on, I thought it did pretty well. Forsaken.
Cade.
Aldrin.
What about Cade, you fucking dumb titan? Raul.
I mean, why would they bring back
Say that
Cade? He's
again.
my friend.
Cade's
Yeah,
a
but
fucking shit cunt though.
I don't think you understand the concept here. Cade is dead. They're not going to bring him back so you can have drinks with this fucking ghost. They're going to be tormenting you.
What? So they'll bring him back and be like, "Hey, fuck you guys. I just took it upper deck in your toilet or something." Like, what?
All right, don't worry. This segment's
No, it's
fucked.
fine. We'll
You've
get
all
to
ruined
it. We'll get to it when you talk about the law stuff. But
Well, that's it. You've
what
done
is
it
Sloth
now.
doing? Is he just pick up a plunger to go and fix his shitter, or no? Never
No,
mind.
cat.
Oh, it was a cat. Right. Cats and plungers. Fucking one and the same. I thought it was great. I thought there was a lot speaking to. I mean, the one point that they really did ram home with the ViDoc was, can you fucking not? It is so annoying. Just mute yourself, you fuck. You're just embarrassing yourself, mate.
Whilst we're off track,
Yes.
Snakey just had the bestest of burns in the chat.
What was the burn?
Fat Cell Games, the unverified.
Oh wow, that's sniper-like accuracy. Get some, Matt. Get some.
Okay, let's get.
Yeah, no, all right. Let's talk about this ViDoc because then we can talk shit later and drink.
Right.
I think
notes from
I think the fucking thing that I took away from it most was how hard they rammed home that they were. Can you fucking not? Just stop it. It's fucking annoying. I don't know. Fucking. Anyway, you muted. You muted. Eat shit. No further part.
Okay.
It's fucking dumb. All right.
Oh, okay,
Just call my bluff.
all right, guys, we're struggling. Let's go. Come on. let's go.
Look. All I am fucking trying to say is that it was great that they were really ramming home the fact that fucking the whole progressing the world and making us involved in the stakes of the world.
Yeah.
Is the be all end all to where we're going from here on in. It's such a fucking change in that. You know, like, and we've spoken about it before. Like, I don't think we're going to see that content in a bubble fucking situation like Curse of Osiris was and all that sort of shit. So, really fucking good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I like I've said previously, I'm still interested to see how they resolve. Oh Jesus, look at this beer! It looks like it's rusted. That's how long it's been in my fridge. Bottle
good.
top's rusted on it.
Bit of
So
iron
good, you reckon?
oxide. Bit of iron oxide won't hurt you.
Yeah, I wonder what's going to happen with this Dreaming City curse. That I'm still very interested in that scenario and if we're going to get some sort of resolution to that and how long that's going to sit there because you know we did change the world. Like that's what Forsaken did pretty well. Forsaken made us feel like the world was changing from our actions with being the raid, the Last Wish, the Shattered Throne. There was lots of stuff that changed in Forsaken. But never got a resolution either. So
Yeah, I think that was the issue with it too. Like it kind of feels unfulfilled at this point, right? Like that's why we're still talking about it.
And then people forget about it. Like the average player forgets about it too.
They are very, very good at making content. What was that blue? What was that blue piece of Warlock armor from Destiny 1 that talked about a city of dreams, and then Destiny 2 Forsaken, we have the Dreaming City. They're very, very good at making content having like an open end to that content and then coming back to it at another time.
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of think that we're going to see some kind of resolution to this story with Shadowkeep, right? Like Shadowkeep will be the year after a year after Forsaken released, and they're talking that it's going to advance the plot, and it is sort of the launching stage for the next year worth of content, which is, that was another part of the ViDoc where they're kind of saying that, each season leads into each other, and it's kind of this narrative that runs through the 4 seasons, and the sort of staging ground for all of that is Shadowkeep itself and the plot that is kicked off with that. So, like,
yeah, it's true. That's what sort of concerned me, because I'm like, I was like, yeah, okay, that makes sense, because that's what happens every September. Is the September release sets up the next sort of 4 seasons, but the last September release set up the previous seasons, but hasn't been finished yet.
Yeah, I mean, that's like if we get to the point where if it's addressed in Shadowkeep, I think that's fine. If it's just left there to rot, I think it'll kind of be a little bit like, well, maybe that's a relic of the way they used to do things, and they can't quite tie it up in an effective way.
Yeah.
Which I hope they found a way, and I hope that's what it's not.
Yeah.
Sort of, because I think that'd be awkward. But by the same token, it's kind of important if you want, those titles to be able to go back in and do some of that shit. So how do they break that system without removing, maybe the time has come to, say to people, look, you've got a month into Shadowkeep, maybe you've got the first season to go in and get the stuff out of the Dreaming City specific titles before they change or they go away, or they're not going to be as easy to access, or you're going to need at least these parts done before it fucking kicks over. I don't know. I don't think we can future-proof the entire fucking release.
Because the way
like
that Luke
either.
Smith was talking about it was like they're going to even introduce bigger concepts that set up the rest of Destiny 2.
Yeah,
that's the impression I got as well. It was like, and that's why it keeps me thinking that they're really going to go hard on introducing the darkness more, and some of the narrative preview sort of jumps into that too. So,
well, I love the fact that they've actually gone back to the darkness. I know that we've touched on this before, and I know that you were a bit skew-if about it, and a lot of the lore community were a bit skew-if about it, but I'm really glad that they retconned the retcon and went back to the darkness, because this overarching, instead of focusing on multiple enemies, this overarching cover of the darkness, I think it's really nice. It's an enemy that can't be described, so to speak.
Yeah, it's the faceless evil. It's kind of like
the faceless evil.
Destiny's grave mind kind of thing, where you never actually really fight it. It's something that's pulling the strings that you don't really. It's kind of unknowable and is smarter and omnipotent and all that sort of shit. A few other things that they touched on in the ViDoc that we'll blast through. First, they did speak about the artifact and why the artifact is important, in that it's an infinite power grind, so you can continually, invest time into it, grind it, improve it. But it ties into what they're calling Nightfall, the Ordeal, which is basically an infinitely increasable difficulty in the Nightfall mode, so that, while you raise your level, you're able to go in and jump into the Nightfalls at a higher level and receive better and better and better rewards, or not necessarily better rewards, but a more likely reward drop. So I think that's a fair.
Oh, I must have missed that.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a small little couple of sentences.
I wonder if with that they're going to do away with the Nightfall cards and just have like multiple levels. So you once you hit 1,000. Yeah, once you hit 1,000 light level, then the Nightfall matches your light level of the highest person in that fire team or something like that. Like, I wonder. I don't think that they'll do away with the 5 of Swords, but I am very happy.
Suit the artifact if you had that Nightfall card to just keep bumping up. But it does the handicap, so maybe
I don't know.
Maybe it must have to function differently. I don't know.
And then lower level, it's like you have the lower level Nightfall. So if they do keep the 5 of Swords, they have the lower level Nightfalls for Nightfall rewards and all that sort of thing. And then they have the the what were they called? Log the Nightfalls.
The ordeal.
What was
the ordeal?
Ordeal.
Yeah,
Something that's called an ordeal. It's fucking promising.
Now, I've been through a few ordeals,
the
and I haven't
the
enjoyed
whole-
any of them. So it'll be
the
interesting to see
whole
what this
point-
is.
The whole point of this, like from what I can tell from the ViDoc, is that Savathun has organized all of this because we have fought. Like, if you look at it canonically, we have fought every day of our lives since being resurrected by Ghost on that shoreline.
We've been busy little bees, that's for sure.
And
mate.
we've fought so many evils. We fought gods and all that sort of thing. Instead of throwing multiple thousands of millions of enemies at us, throw our biggest fears at us. Like, that is some fucking top tier writing, and that is some really good writing in respect of you could be the strongest man in the world, but if your brain, like the whole mental health part of it, if your brain shuts down as soon as it sees Oryx or as soon as it sees Crota, they've already won.
I think I think they've always been actually really clever with how they create stories about essentially immortal, undefeatable gods. You know, like that's us.
Yeah.
Like, I think they've always been quite clever with exploring different concepts of that. You look at like Siva and what they explore with that. You look at, you know, when D2 first released and they explored what it means to have the light and then lose the light and sacrifice and all this kind of thing, and post-traumatic stress from, you know, these different events, the collapse and the impact on that had on people. You know, they've always been pretty clever with creating stories around, you know,
They did what
how
they
do you
did,
write a
like,
story about someone who's invincible, essentially? You know, it's like Superman.
Yeah.
How do you write a story about that? And they've been pretty good about that, I think.
You just got to make it
They
so
have.
the
I think-
stakes aren't personal. Like, that's why Destiny works. It's not we're fighting to save our own life. It's we're fighting to save the future of humanity or life.
Well,
or
at the moment,
good
it seems
or all that sort of shit.
it seems that with the Shadowkeep release, it seems that they are trying to make it personal. You know, like, a lot of people really struggled with Crota. A lot of people really struggled with Oryx. I know we did, because it was connection based and all that sort of thing. If they have an enemy that fucking moves around like he's the king of Uganda, like, that's going to be our biggest fear in PvE. But
Oh,
How about that? How about that fire Crota?
Yeah, that looks pretty rad.
Now, that was Anon tweeted about that. That's actually a character. That's actually a named. boss
Someone
or
said that, but I couldn't see where the name was. Someone said it was Crota's sister?
Most
Wait.
trusted knight. No, it was his most trusted. Crota's most trusted something advisor. So,
Spicy Crota.
It's spicy Crota.
But-
That's it. That's all it'll ever be known as.
That is now called
Sebi,
Spicy
you
Crota.
called it
Spicy Crota.
Spicy Crota.
But
Nothing more
no,
to say.
the way that they're doing it, the way that they're doing this is like, it's very reminiscent of like the Drifter during Season of the Drifter was talking about how, like, Shax and all those guys were warlords and they did unspeakable things to stay on at the top of the pile, and now it looks like it's coming all coming back to haunt us. And that's the thing that's really got me sort of excited for the story.
Man,
of this campaign.
that Crimson Keep looks pretty cool, right? With that bridge
I
came
think
down.
The art direction is fucking
Mate.
insane. It's
It's
like,
fucking
oh, you know
amazing.
what? You've been on a Hive spaceship, but have you ever been to a Hive medieval
Hive.
castle on the moon? I don't know.
Well, yeah,
I just think
I
there's
don't
so
know.
many like real perfect elements coming together too. Because you've got, you know, the moon was already a pretty fucked up looking place when you think back to D1 with the big fishes and stuff coming out of the ground, and there's a green light emerging from it, and then you've got the Hellmouth itself, which is probably the most ominously named thing ever. You know, like, so it was pretty set up to go back and it'd be sort of the horrifying place that I think. And I think that's what you're touching on, Sloth, is that it's nice to see it sort of take a different tact, because we've been on this path with all of the Leviathan stuff. And then, I mean, maybe not so much Last Wish, where it was sort of like all about this rising to the challenge. You know, like, oh, are you worthy? Are you worthy? Are you worthy? This isn't that. This is like a Clearly Savathun or whoever's pulling the strings thinks we're a worthy adversary, but they're
She wants to
doing
break our mind.
Yeah, they're doing everything they can to try and get an advantage, and I think that we probably need that challenge in the it breaks up the direction of the game, right? Like
the story, like obviously us as players probably not going to have that much of a reaction, but like from a writing perspective, they're trying to break our mind with all of the things we've defeated and what our trials and tribulations were. Like it's really, really good to see.
Right,
Now,
do you want me to just power through the rest of this ViDoc thing before you just get too off track?
We can.
Hold on.
One thing that
Zave's gone off.
One thing that Zave's just said, and I would love to see it. Imagine if Shax or Zavala went to the moon and his mind was broken and we got sent to bring him back in.
Is this like we do in the news, or are you just imagining shit?
No, I'm just saying.
He's talking about the nightmares and the
like imagine the nightmares sent fucking Zavala and Shax insane, and you had to bring them back in. Like that.
That'd be pretty wicked.
I think I hope I'm surprised by the nightmare guardian, like the shadow guardians that are floating everywhere, and there's a little bit of in-game dialogue. I'm not hopeful that there will be, but we've seen Eris sort of yell at her traumas from the past, but I would love for there to be, whether it's iron laws or whether there's something from the lore that's sort of haunting us, whether it's just any of the characters that died in the Great Disaster on the moon. They could bring any of them back who died to Crota. Like, I think there's so much really possibility for get people excited about the history of death. I mean, it's literally bringing the ghosts of the lore into the game.
Into the game. It's a wicked ploy in that respect. I mean, do you think
there's so much potential there?
Do you think, but that like ghosts, as in like Dinklebot and Nolan Droid, and those ghosts have right to like maybe launch some kind of legal action against these new ghosts that are coming in and kind of dragging the name Ghost through the mud?
That was so bad. That was your word.
I'm fine, man. I'm fucking I'm good. I've got nothing else.
Sloth broke you completely with his fucking loud vaping.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I've ripped him.
Well, have you noticed that I've actually fucking muted myself when I'm doing it?
Yeah, no, it was very nice.
Fucking metal, Jesus,
fucking clown. Right, weapons can be built up on a rune table, allowing players to chase desirable rolls, which is fantastic. Again, with the whole situation of menagerie, like you could basically build your weapon, and obviously with upcoming weeks, you can get the god roll of whatever because you'll be getting up to 3 drops. Which is fucking fantastic. But weapons can be built on a rune table, which is absolutely insanity. And then we've got the Seasons of Change. Each year, an expansion or an expansion equivalent to Shadowkeep will come out, comprised of the expansion and 4 seasons that are cycled throughout the year. Expansion serves as an anchor point. Seasons facilitate growth, change, and driving the overarching story forward. And to our live channel, Tams and Wood. Thank you very much for the host and the raid, ladies and gentlemen. Miss Tamsin Wood from her channel over there.
From Tamsin Wood?
Twitch.tv/Tamsin Wood. I don't know where I was going with
Tamsin Wood.
Thank you very much.
Twitch./fucking Tamsin Wood fame.
I'm fine, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much.
Excellent branding. Tamsin Wood from the Tamsin Wood. Got him.
Tamsin, thank you very much for the host and the raid. Thank you very, very much. You are a gem. Guys, twitch.tv/Tamsin Wood. Thank you very much. More ways to play. Every season, there is a new way to play the game. Artifacts and season rank designed to add depth to the character building in-game. The artifact is an infinite power grind. The champions, which are the new top tier enemies in Nightfall modes. Nightfall, the ordeal, which you just touched on. The Moon Dungeon. I tell you what. That looks cool. Like the rolling pins of fucking deathly spikes.
Yeah, it looks like that's the best thing about it.
Pings.
It looks like an evil moon Indiana Jones temple. from the things that they've shown. I hope we at least get a run away from a giant fucking boulder. That is all I want from it. If there's
You just saying like things like that. I'm pretty sure that's exactly what this shit they say internally when they think of like designs.
Oh,
They'll
dude.
just be like, okay, we want a high version of Indiana Jones, like Evil Moon Indiana Jones. Like, okay, everyone gets that. Everyone gets that concept. Yeah.
It's
Nice,
exactly
I
what
agree.
Trevor was, though, when you think about it, except he had legs. So maybe I should just go and do that.
Well, I
that
mean,
fucking
they've already
dungeon
done
again.
running away. They've already done the running away from a boulder, haven't we? Because that was the fucking second encounter in Scourge of the Past.
But that maybe they can give us a hat.
Are we literally just playing Indiana Jones disguised?
I
as-
think we are.
I think
I
we
think
are.
we're playing
Pirates?
sci-fi Indiana Jones.
Did we just discover that someone at Bungie's going, oh shit, they're onto us. Delete the files.
Fuck. God damn it. I mean, the Temple of
We get a
Doom is
message.
just the Shadowkeep, right? Like, it's the red key.
Wait.
Temple of Doom.
We're going to get messages on our phones from the FBI. Stop.
If I have to collect a crystal skull, all right, I'll
Oh, dude,
fucking
that was a
delete.
fucking shit movie.
That was
oh,
fucking so
we're drawing the
crap.
line there.
Right.
That never
a
happened.
focus. Now, this is a thing that I thought was quite nice, and a lot of people are quite excited for, quite ready for, is a focus on healthier PvP, bringing back Demon maps, that is Widow's Court and Twilight Gap, and then a new map, Fragment, bringing back Elimination to the Crucible labs, and then there's 4 rotating versions to get feedback. I think that's fantastic, and a little bit more focus on PvP is going to be really, really nice.
I think it's really, I mean, this is obviously just the start of what they're trying to do, and that they're sort of staging it so that they can take in feedback before committing to a direction.
Yeah.
Either way is, they're using tools that they've already built to do that, which is, it's kind of, Crucible Labs will come to fruition in that respect. So it's kind of been sitting there dormant and really not used all that well. So this, I hope, is going to see it, ultimately hone a piece of content that
Now,
we get down the line.
The big thing is that if you're interested in PvP or you're invested in PvP in the game and you don't play Crucible Labs, you're going to get you're going to get a lot of malice from me, because you don't have a fucking a dog in the fight if you don't actually test the shit that they're putting out. Because if they're focusing on PvP, you, as in the player base, need to play it to give them feedback. If you don't play it and then go, PvP's fucking shit, you can get out.
Yeah. That goes without saying. I don't know. I mean, I think
No, I don't know if I agree with that. I think it's an optional feature. I think it's, the onus is on Bungie to test. I think it is good practice to have your community test and give feedback so you're not making decisions in a bubble. But I think if you're a PvP player, I still think your opinion's valid.
No, I mean, yeah, Bungie, they have the numbers and all that sort of thing. 100% they do. They have the numbers, and then the onus is on them. But when you've got fucking subsects upon subsects of the PvP community just going, we want trials back, and we want 4-player PvP back, and we want fucking dad weapons, and we want fucking hand cannons.
Yeah, I see your point. Like if you're gonna
it's
complain,
the onus
you
is
should
on the
take
fucking player
advantage.
base to tell Bungie, what they enjoy and what they don't enjoy. And if you don't play Crucible Labs and then you go take to Twitter or take on to fucking Facebook or whatever, wherever it is, or the Bungie forums or Reddit, and you say PvP's trash after all this comes out, then I'm sorry, you are quite legitimately a fucking
potpourri.
You're just a shit person.
A fucking
sloppy.
humidifier.
You're a fucking humidifier. You probably
You're
vape.
a fucking
You grub.
spoon, mate. You're a fucking spoon.
Yeah, look,
That's what it is.
Look. I think you raise a valid point in that it does give people an avenue to sort of play the game modes as they're being tested and try it out. Do I think that people aren't gonna fucking dislike things if they dislike them? That's life. I just think that's uncompatible, But yeah, seriously, not don't really feel the need to go down the barrel of talking about that kind of crap yet again.
I will. No, a single evolving world. We've got the season of the Undying. The Vex start invading from the Black Garden. This giant fucking circle of a Vex teleporter arrives in the sky and just drops Vex off. And then you have to kill them. Now, the way that I read it, the way that I saw it and listened to it and interpreted it, is that the Vex invasion, there is a 6-man activity as part of the Vex invasion. Is that what you guys got? Or no?
I'm quickly realizing when I watched the ViDoc, the only thing my ears were picking up was any lore, and then I just filtered out everything else. So
I just pick up the vibe, the marbo of it all. That's what I'm here for. That's why I have to, like, that was the third time I'd watched it, and I went through and took literal fucking notes. Half of that shit that I've written down is just sentences people said.
So what are you saying? There's a 6-man activity with the season of Undying.
It seems there is a
That's not a
6-man
raid.
activity.
Yeah. I think we're going to see something like, maybe not to the level of Menagerie, but I don't know. I mean, the Vex Incursion is what it is, right? That's the name of it, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So I guess time will tell.
Well, I'll take that.
Time will tell.
I'll take that. Okay.
When you kind of extrapolate it all out, there was actually a lot in that ViDoc. So
There was a lot. What was that modifying thing? That Vex looking scroll thing? No, the Hive looking scroll thing.
what?
Am I making shit up?
Rune?
Yeah,
The
the
rune.
rune.
Maybe that's
What
the
was
rune
the rune?
table. Is that the rune table?
Yeah, the rune. That's the rune table. Yeah.
What does the rune table do again?
Well, you use it to craft guns, and then the guns are like the guns from the Shadowkeep moon stuff.
Oh,
The other thing that was in the
is it
notes
like the-
that we didn't touch on is the fact that those guns actually are like nightmare detectors in that
The
they've got
fact that they
little
light up
glyphs.
around nightmares and all that
yes,
sort of
they
thing.
light
It's
up around
super cool.
nightmares.
Yeah.
So that's very similar to Osiris, Curse of Osiris, when you had the
Yeah, I think so.
thing to craft the weapons
I
from
think so.
Curse of Osiris.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's cool.
I thought that was actually a cool system that was kind of, because of what it was used in, was underlined, like sort of thrown out, you know. Like, anyway.
Yeah,
I'm off the
okay,
boil,
great.
right? Big time. Anywing, moving on.
I know. You're
we're-
really rattled. I think you broke him with you. Look. The thing is, you see how happy Sloth is when he fucking breaks people. Look
He
at
won't
him.
be happy when he's
all
completely
giggly.
fucking banned from vaping on the podcast for forever for being a dickhead.
Right, we're fighting the Vex on the moon. They are invading the moon. This is the community thing that that we have to do. It's the basis of the raid on the Black Garden and all that sort of shit. We are building towards stopping the invasion over a 3-month period, which is now 2 months because it ends in December. But they will showcase the impact of the Vex could have had on the solar system if left unchecked. And there was actually a voice line in that. And I can't remember exactly what the voice line is, but there is a voice line of what would happen if the Vex, something along the lines of Vex being unchecked, which is absolutely fantastic. Absolutely. Absolutely fantastic.
I miss. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I don't know. So that looks kind of nice. That looks kind of nice. And I think that's about it for the ViDoc notes, ladies and gentlemen. While Matt goes through the Eris lore, if you have any questions, queries, doubtful points, or if this is for the live chat, if you have any questions, queries, doubtful points, or you have any questions, tag Real Time Sloth. I'll take your questions and we'll get questions at the end. But Matt, tell us about Eris lore, man.
Yeah. So narrative preview has been dropping.
Mhm.
First narrative preview pretty much picks up pre-Red War, just after Eris Morn says goodbye to Ashamir. So I think it was Age of Triumph. Just
Yeah,
before
I think
Destiny 2.
that was when I thought it was. Like, that was when it seems to fit in, like the discussion with her, Zavala and Akora, and leaving, and then
Yeah. So there's a Grimoire card in Age of Triumph where this is the first time, I think it's the first time Ashimir is introduced. He's in a med bay, and he's been infected by the Vex, which is why he's got the Vex arm that we see in D2, and Eris basically says, I need to go fight these baddies, I'll catch you later, and disappears. And this sort of picks up directly after that. She's also talking to Ikora and Zavala and essentially says the same thing. I've got to go face Oryx's sisters. Interesting thing, because I've always referred to Zyphirath and Savathun as Oryx's sisters, but I was corrected many times on that, saying that Zyphu is a male and Savathun is a female. But I'm pretty sure in the books of Sorrow their genders often switch. Well, Zyphirath, Savathun's always referred to as a she, as the witch, the she witch. But Zyphu, I think, actually has both genders. I think it's a he and a she at some point. So anyway, in the narrative preview, it says sisters. It's very specifically, it says sisters. So what I say is sibling. Siblings is an easier way to say it. Oryx's siblings, Zyvarath and Savathun. So that's sort of narrative preview 1. Narrative preview 2 is, oh Jesus, I can't remember now. She dies. Does she die? No. Fuck, I don't. How bad is this? I didn't make any notes.
No.
Oh, I know. I know. She's haunted, she's haunted. She's haunted by she starts being haunted by the nightmares. Okay.
Yeah.
So and this is when she works out that it's Savathun. And there's heaps of references in the narrative preview 2 that pretty much confirms it's Savathun playing the trick of the nightmares. The first reference is, I think the title of narrative preview 2 is Black Needle, and that's one of Savathun's titles. The other one of Savathun's titles is a very specific word. I can't remember it, but it's mentioned in there. And then also she says Oryx's sister or something like that. So it confirms that it's a sibling. So pretty much, I think that section confirms Savathun is playing the tricks on Eris Morn with these nightmares. And then it looks like she's transported into the Ascendant realm somehow, and she meets Toland there. This orb is following her around, and it ends up being Toland. And this is when they introduce this. It's going to be the main plot line of Shadowkeep, is whatever Eris woke up in the Hellmouth, whatever this slumbering sort of thing is in the Hellmouth. Most of the clues are sort of going towards the darkness, because there's sort of this paragraph that talks about we didn't really understand the light and the dark, and it's been here all the time and this kind of stuff. So I think it's probably going to be something along the darkness lines, but we're not quite sure. And I think that's what probably the Shadowkeep storyline is going to focus on. And at that point, Eris is also meeting up with the Queen to sort of discover this sort of thread and work out how to deal with Savathun or whatever this thing is that slumbers between, beneath the moon. So I think that's right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sounds right.
Sounds right to me.
Sounds right.
I'm sure people will correct me. I apologize if it's not 100% on that. I've only read them a couple times, so yeah.
And then there's the next one with where she comes out of the thing, right? Is that where we're at?
Yeah. Well, is there 3 or 4 already? Is there 4 now?
4. So she comes out of the Ascendant realm, is ejected, punted out, is sort of Petra finds her, and Petra takes her to the Queen. And then the Queen goes over her motivation for her actions, which I think is kind of important. Which
did we ever? Sorry, Lob, go on.
You're right. No, I was just going to say that basically it's sort of a reaffirmation of the relationship that Eris and the Queen have, right? Because it's always been alluded to, but never really spoken about. And the way Eris speaks of her is like she's, I don't know. I mean, she's in as much in awe of the Queen as she is of any of the Vanguard leadership or anything like that. So it was pretty cool to get that perspective. But she sort of basically it boils down to the Queen seeing her motivation for being so obsessed with trying to find what she's trying to find, which is ultimately revenge, as a worthy pursuit sort of thing. And for Eris, that is like a tick of approval. So at that point, she's headed back to the moon to go and, I don't know, get out the shovel and dig shit up or whatever she's going to do.
Discover
So,
what this thing is.
so
Just getting in touch with fucking Venkman, mate. Need to get rid of them ghosts.
Do you guys want me to make you feel better, Log, with stories of Fat Cell games that are unverified?
Yeah, Fat Cell games, the unverified. Jump in, do it. It made me fucking angry when I saw it. I won't lie. I think it's affected me. It's dragged me down.
This is how I found out this morning. I turned on Philip DeFranco show, which I pretty much watch every morning.
I like Phil.
And saw that YouTube has made some changes to the verified sort of check mark on YouTube. I thought, and then I was like, I'll be right. I don't know why. I often slip under the radar with a lot of shit. You know, like when something goes down on YouTube, you know, I somehow get away with it. You know, that big monetization. What was that thing that happened? Like, everyone's AdSense dropped by like 1,000%. That kind of stuff. Adpocalypse. The adpocalypse. Somehow, like, law was in this weird category. It wasn't that bad. Anyway, I thought, sure enough, open up my Gmail email from YouTube. Just letting you know, your channel's been reviewed. No longer meets the criteria for the verification. In October, you're going to be unverified. I'm like, what? I don't get it. And the more I read it, the more I think that the main thing is why. You've already verified who I am. Okay. The whole idea of some of the verification is people can't impersonate me. People can still steal content, obviously, but it's a credibility to say that this is the original source because, you know, YouTube puts a stamp on it and says, you know, for some sort of dispute, basically, community is going to back the verified tick. Like, it's just some sort of legitimacy to it.
Yeah.
I've only just realized now another point that I should have added is it is, you know, because a lot of people are saying, well, it doesn't really matter. And it does. To go to brands, okay, now that I'm relying more on sponsors, it's actually a big plus to have a verification tick on YouTube. Like, this is YouTube almost verifying that my brand is safe. And therefore, advertisers should feel safe, you know, with me advertising their products on my brand. So that, and it's not just me. People with like millions of subscribers.
It's Bife as well. It's EPOS Vox that does incredibly helpful stream tutorials and stuff. Sorry, man. It's fucking everywhere.
I imagine that probably 100% of YouTube Destiny YouTubers will probably be hit by it. I can't imagine anyone escaping it because the thing is, right, it's actually I can read you the actual email, right, because I don't think many people have actually tweeted out the actual email, and I don't think it's not like protected or anything, right? So this is the 3 points to be verified. So after they said you're no longer verified, this is what they said. What's changing? YouTube will now proactively verify proactively, which meaning YouTube makes the choice, not you. Because previously I could apply. Previously I went to my like YouTube manager and said, "Can I get the verification?" And she put that process through. So now YouTube's saying we will proactively means, which means we're going to remove everyone and we are going to decide who gets a check. YouTube will now proactively verify channels instead of accepting requests for verification badges. We aim to verify channels that represent a well-known or highly searched creator, artist, public figure, or company with a clear need to differentiate themselves from other channels with a similar name. Channels are typically verified if they, and these are the 3 points they give. So just listen to these points. Have built a large audience and community on YouTube, are widely recognized outside of YouTube, and have a strong presence online. And lastly, or have a channel name that could be confused with other channels on YouTube. So literally have an audience on YouTube, be widely recognized outside of YouTube, and have a similar channel name.
You know what this reads to me?
Yeah, what do you fucking reckon it reads?
Yeah, this reads to me is that they have lost too many advertisers to. I'm not saying this is you, Matt. I'm saying that they've lost too many advertisers to shitty content or content that is racist or content that is or shit that people have done outside of Twitter, i.e. PewDiePie streams where he's dropped racist words and all that sort of thing. People taking their verified people taking their communities, impersonating other verified people on YouTube, and going in onto other websites and trying to get people banned for whatever reason. It sounds like that corporations will pay a sum of money and they'll be able to get verified. Same with public figures. It sounds like that YouTube want to put advertisers over content creators.
Oh, they have, and they will, and they'll continue to do that for forever because that's their actual business. But
I know that it's their business. I know that there's this business, but they are like their business is off the back of hardworking content creators like Matt. And I'm going to be very careful with my words here so I don't sound like I'm giving him shit, because I'm not giving him shit. Is that this guy works a PhD. He teaches kids coding. He fucking works his ass off with scripts, recording, and edits. He's jumped into my stream. He's jumped into voice chats with me in the middle of the day, and he's coughing, sneezing, fucking can barely breathe. And I said, "Hey mate, I'll do a recording for you." And he goes, "No, I'll get it done." And he gets it done. Has not got content that is that is not advertiser friendly. Has a fucking MCM backing him up, but gets fucked over like this. It is exactly the same as EPOS. EPOS is basically just a content creator who does OBS tutorials, audio system tutorials and reviews, and like software editing stuff. He is advertiser friendly and all that sort of thing, but they want people to pay a certain amount either out of their own pocket or out of their MCN to get back onto the YouTube's good side. This is ridiculous.
The thing that fucking rankles me about it is that YouTube had the audacity to say they were going to proactively do fucking anything, because they haven't proactively done anything forever, right?
Not in the last fucking 15 years that they have ever been fucking proactive. They've had bots fucking pull content for major corporations for the last 15 fucking years. They've They demonetized one of our episodes, namely because I pulled a knife on Log, but that's beside the point. But that, like, they use robots for this. Yes, Mr. Jumanji in the live chat, he posted a YouTube content creator's tweet that's saying you can appeal. You can appeal before October, and you know what they're going to come back and say? No. Because
I'm going to appeal just to see what happens, because I think
you should. Fuck it, you should appeal.
But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going
to
to ask everyone to fucking make a Marlin Games fake account and just fill up the comment section on one of my things, because that's the third criteria, is that people might confuse it and for impersonation. And I think it would just be fucking hilarious.
Just
send them a screenshot of
you need to like line up
melon, like just do different versions of Marlin, like spell it differently. Melon, Mayan, all put the same symbol. Oh,
dude, do that, and then just get a video of like you walking down the street and pay 100 people to come out and go, "Hey man, that's Marlin Games," so you're fucking recognizable outside of YouTube. This is just me walking through my hometown.
Why do you need to be recognizable outside of YouTube?
Do you want to know why? Because if you're recognizable outside of YouTube, you've probably got lots of fucking money. The end. That's it.
That is the biggest red flag, which says to me the only people that are gonna get verifications. And I looked at this today. I mean, they haven't done it yet, but like on my homepage, you're gonna see Jimmy Fallon. He's gonna be verified. You're gonna see ESPN verified. It is just gonna be those fucking flogs that had nothing to do with building YouTube and what YouTube has ever been about. It is going to be corporate media with verification ticks because the average user that goes onto it sees a check mark and they feel like that is a better quality video and that's what they're going to click on in their recommendation.
Can we eat the rich? Can we
need
just
to eat
go
the rich.
like invade? Can we
We need to
fucking
eat the rich.
invade? Can we invade fucking YouTube towers, YouTube fucking Google or whatever it is, and just fucking cook
Oh,
'em?
yeah. Okay. At PAX, someone just said, we'll get everyone to shout my name. 300 people or whatever. And I'll
go.
film it. And I'll
There
put
we
that in the
go.
appeal. Everyone just go, oh my God, is that Marlon Games? and then I'll start running and fucking chase me down the terrace of Melbourne or whatever. And we'll film it.
Yeah, I'm
So
in.
this is a
No,
call
I'm
out
in.
to everyone going to PAX on Saturday. Matty's. I'll tweet out where Matt is because he'll be with Log and I. And what we need you to do is come as a group. We won't be too far out of PAX. We'll probably be at a coffee shop, not too far from it. And what we need you to do is just walk up and go, "Hey, that's Marlon Games," and I'll do the
Just a
video
fucking
recording.
stampede.
I'll do the video recording, and what I need you guys to do is chase Marlon down the street and around the corner, and then I'll
Yeah.
shut off the recording.
Me and Slothy are going to tip in. We're going to put $150 in his back pocket, and if you catch him, you can have it.
Fuck no, I've got $400 for the weekend. I'm not putting $150 in his back pocket.
I'm backing him to run.
Tell you what,
I want it back.
I've been getting fit.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think look, it put me in a pretty foul mood today, I guess. And on the top of that, it was almost a straw that broke the camel's back because I'd been to all these PhD meetings and the long story short is I'm fucking making a lot of other people rich and everyone's using my work and I'm just being a fucking plebeian and just giving out all my research. And I'm like, it was that and then fucking the YouTube. And I was like, I was like, my current currency is fucking pats on the back. that is my current currency. It's just fucking
Hey,
all
this hard work you're doing, Matt, all this hard work, we're going to pay you in exposure. See how much exposure we have for you right here, Matt? We see it. You see, you can pay your rent with this exposure.
Do you know what's
Fuck
good, though?
off, you fucking flogs, mouth-breathing fucking stains on the fucking earth. We should fire you into the sun or fire you into a brick wall head first, you fucking wastes of oxygen.
That's cool.
I'm gonna walk into my bank and go, oh, I've got my my latest mortgage payment. There you go.
The irony of it all is that you're ending your day with literally the one place on earth you'll never get a pat on the back, and that's the podcast. All you'll ever get here is just remind.
But look, this has spurred me on. I wonder if I should announce this now. I don't have any plans, but fuck it. Nick in chat is helping. Look, I've said to him, I really need to investigate this podcast stuff. I actually think it's. I need to get a YouTube. This is a house of cards ready to tumble. I need to get out of it and start building elsewhere. I fucking hate the idea of starting from zero, but I think I need to look at ways to my videos are so auditory. You don't really need the visual, and everyone has always wanted podcast versions. I just need to find the right platform to host a podcast. And it's not really a podcast; it's literally just going to be audio versions of my YouTube videos. But we can add to it with longer form podcast discussion, etc., etc. But
this is probably a question. This is probably a question for after. But I mean, like I listen to like I know Log's been right into the Lawhammer podcast. I've been listening to I Speak Giant. Fucking like, I'm sure a lot of people would follow it to Spotify because it's like they can just turn their phone off, put their headphones in, and they can just walk along and listen to it and all that sort of thing. I think Spotify is probably a good spot for you, mate. I'll have to ask Log how much, what their fucking upload fees and all that sort of stuff. But like it's,
Dude,
I'd probably listen to
Matt.
it. I listen to a lot of it, lot more on Spotify.
Matt,
Yeah.
I know a little bit.
Matt,
Fucking 3 years of doing this garbage, we can sort it out. That's not a big deal. And like, to be honest, off the back of you having the shits and all of the fucking stuff that happened today is literally the reason I went, you know what, fuck this. Like, YouTube being the sole place where Destiny Down Under video lives can get fucked. It's going to be on fucking literally anywhere I can think to put it from this moment onwards. I created the Facebook specifically for that. Do I honestly expect people are going to fucking watch a hour and a half long video on a platform that literally consists of vines and shit clips from God knows what? Probably not. But you know what? It's there. It's an option, and it fucking matters. That like
Chuck it on Pornhub.
Yeah, dude, I will.
It's
if
a valid
I can
point.
fucking
It's a
get
fucking
it in.
valid.
If I can get it in, I will.
You know what? Like, I would highly recommend. As funny as it sounds, I would highly recommend that they are going to. I believe that they're going to do some sort of streaming service owned by the people that run Pornhub, some sort of video streaming service. And you know what? We need a company to fucking rival YouTube, and if it's done by the people that do Pornhub. And I know, like, a lot of you fuckers in the chat would probably admit that you watch Pornhub. A lot of you probably don't, but we fucking know you do because everyone fucking jerks it or fucking
doesn't watch porn. Like, seriously, if you watch, if you don't watch porn, I'm worried about you because there's just a fucking man.
But I mean, like, this is the thing: is that fucking Pornhub, please, like, make a fucking video service. Make a fucking video service for that rivals YouTube. I guarantee you.
Oh, what I was going to say, about 2 years ago, I actually received an email from a company that said, we are going up against the big boys. We're going to challenge YouTube as a video platform. We will pay you. You don't have to be exclusive, but we will pay you to upload videos to it. What are you laughing about?
Nick's comment, everyone, if you're watching the YouTube video right now, you need to see this. Nick's comment, 3 chubbies go hard on a dead game. Accurate.
Fucking hell. Anyway,
accurate.
Someone contacted me with that. And I imagine they contacted a lot of content creators. And guess what? It just disappeared.
Yeah.
Never happened.
I just think that it can't. I think, like, honestly, unless it's someone that's established, and I tweeted out this today, I just wish Twitch would get into fucking gear and have a category where it was like, okay, here's your live streams, and then you click a button, and here's all the fucking videos related to the game that you're already fucking looking at, right?
And secondly, the other thing I haven't mentioned, YouTube take 60%, and then my MCN take another. Well, they were taking another 20%. So out of all the work that I fucking did, I only got 20% back.
Mylan 20% games.
I'm gonna put this out there, guys. If you want to support Mylan monetarily, go to his Patreon.
No, that's Gamma Trap, you dumb.
Well, start a fucking Patreon, Matt.
No, because okay. This is the other reason I was fucking pissed off today, right? Because I always feel like I do the right thing by my employees, which is he contracts an employee, Gamma Trab. He gets a 100% of my Patreon and I top it up with extra money, right? So I didn't negotiate with that. I just said, Gamma Trab, what's your hourly rate? Tell me what your time is worth, right? And I will pay that regardless, right? If Patreon doesn't cover your fee, I will pay you extra. And that's what I've been using sponsorship money for. And that's why all the fucking shrill up fucking EA sponsorship money, I've been using for, right?
Yeah.
And then same with my editor. I don't negotiate that shit. And I just feel like today's been like, I feel like I've been trying to be the good guy and just getting fucking kicked in the face by everyone whilst trying to do it. And I like, why is everyone going to be such a cunt? Like all my fucking people at the university that just, oh, I got asked to do another coding club. I'm like, not being paid for it. 3 years experience. I'm literally the only fucking person probably in WA that can. There's no one in WA or probably Australia that could run these places better than me. I'm just fucking propping up all these other businesses that are taking an income from.
Don't do it then. Fuck them.
Yeah, I just said. Off. I was like, oh, you want me to do? I didn't realize you want me to do that. I don't have time to do that. Right. I need to finish my actual articles and actually publish something and stop just getting pats on the back as fucking income. So. The rage you're seeing now is like where I was like a couple of hours ago. I was like on the drive home. Danny's like, "How's your day?" And I was like, "Fuck!"
Ladies and gentlemen, this is quite legitimately what happens when you don't. And this isn't a jab at you, mate. It's not a jab. It's just something that I've noticed over the years that I've known you. But this is what happens when you play the nice guy and you don't ask or demand on what you want.
It's I am becoming very jaded with that. I when I got into YouTube, I was really like I'm so annoyed with larger channels that just I don't know didn't seem like they had respect or just didn't care about people. And the older I get and the more experience I get, like I've seen today, like I've been working as a therapist for 10 years now, and so people I'm working with are professors and stuff like that now. And I'm just like, I don't know. If you don't, I just realize that people will take advantage of you every step of the way if you don't demand it. And it's really discouraging because I hate working like that. And I don't expect Gamma Trap to, from myself, I expect to offer him what's fair. And it's such a, and I wish that you could just do that in the world. You could just go, my employer is going to be fair and do the right thing. And it just fucking doesn't. And it's shit.
Matt, I'm going to talk to you about something after the podcast. It's time I introduced you to death metal.
It's time that you fucking stood up for yourself, mate.
Nah, look, this is one of those things. And I mean, ultimately, look, we've turned into the Life Down Under fucking podcast, but I mean, really, like I've been through the same shit. I think at some point we all go through this sort of stuff, and it is fucked because you kind of realize that you go into things with the best intentions and try and be a fucking good bloke, and you can absolutely get burned. And the one thing that I am sitting here right now listening to Matt have a vent, and that is A, healthy, but B, I sit here and go, I know what Matt is at his core, and at the same time, he can be pissed off, but he's not going to change, and he's going to continue to do the right thing as he sees it. So it's like, I don't know. Look, I think the world we live in these days, and we're Australian, things are a little bit different here. If you're in the States, like we've often spoken to our American friends about how culturally it's different. We're very different. Very different. So there's the whole hustle thing that's huge in the States, like everyone's grafting, trying to make something of themselves, where in Australia it's kind of different. Not that we're like not driven or whatever, but it's, I don't know, it's just a different vibe. It's, I don't know. I can't put my finger on it, and I don't want to fucking offend anyone by trying to.
Hang on. Yeah, I'm driven to be an annoying cunt.
Yeah,
and old and angry.
What do you mean driven
fucking,
to be? You fucking succeeded.
Yeah, I know. But that's like, you got to remember, ladies and gentlemen, is that if you keep, not that I'm aiming at any of you, not that I'm aiming this at Matt or Luke or anyone, or Log rather, but when you consistently fuck on people, like what YouTube's doing or like what fucking other people are doing, when you consistently fuck on people, you're going to burn too many bridges, and then you're going to end up alone, and you won't be able to fucking do anything, no matter how hard you try. If you keep burning bridges and fucking on people, you're gonna fucking end up. You're gonna end up fucking yourself.
It's all well and good, but the problem with YouTube is they own the fucking bridges. So
I know, and that's why they're owning the bridges and they're burning the bridges. But YouTube is going to get what's coming to them. That I can fucking guarantee.
I hope so. I mean, and I mean,
eat the fucking rich, you cunts.
I got to this point today where where I just thought, we'll get a really good launch for the podcast for my stuff to move over to podcast format. There's obviously going to be a big teething period where, I'm starting from square one in regards to, there's no ad revenue on the podcast. I have to build all that again, which is something that I honestly don't know if I want to do. And I don't want to be jaded with making YouTube with YouTube videos. No, but I would rather exit on my own terms from making content and be like, I had a fucking really cool time. I did something that very few people will ever do, which is, just shy of 200,000 subscribers, 36 million views across the channel on a fucking very, very specific. Shut up, cunt. Very, very, very specific topic with, a fantastic audience. I've made electronic fucking web comics. I've given Gamma Trap employment for like fucking years now. And I did the fucking Grimoire anthology with Bungie and be like, okay, we're there. And not get to a point where I'm stressed and fucking hating it. I don't want to do that because
Start streaming Tarkov on Twitch.
Dude, I was thinking that today. I'm like, fuck, I'm going to Tarkov.
Fucking Tarkov down under. Fuck. I don't know if I can do it, boys.
All right, shall we get into some questions from the chat?
Oh fuck yeah! Remember the chat.
Have you finished? I'm not being facetious or shitty or anything. Have you finished?
Do you feel better, man?
Yeah, no, that was a rant over. I think we
will legitimately, guys.
I think I didn't realize this was going to happen, but I think when you get a little bit older and a bit further in your career, this kind of stuff really shits you. When you see people like above you that are just making dumb fucking decisions, that it's the same as YouTube. Like, who the fuck made that decision, and why are you getting? They're probably getting paid so much money to make dumb fucking decisions like that. Zero. And now I've gone again. Yeah. Right, but no. Look, if you're not 30. You're probably like, that won't happen yet. Guarantee when you get to your like 30s and you've been in the workforce for a little bit, this shit starts happening all the time. And it's not just YouTube as a workplace. It's every fucking workplace.
Just wait until you get to your 40s and you're just fucking jaded as fuck and obnoxious as fuck.
Yeah, and I don't want to be a jaded, obnoxious fuck dude. I want to be respectful to people and like work collaboratively with people.
Fucking excuse me.
All right, Matthew. Questions from the chat. Thank you very much. Fucking fire away.
From Splinter, the fuck is Aldrin up to? I don't know. Solid question. I don't know. No, legitimately, he got woken up,
validated by YouTube, right? Or whatever the fuck.
Devalidated.
That's how good I'm going.
No, so the fuck is Aldrin up to? Aldrin is probably like he's been awoken by pulled pork. He's probably got a lot of questions, and I think that we will probably figure out at some point or other. We'll get to that scene that ended up way back in Destiny 1 before the alpha. This is how we talk in the wild.
You reckon? I mean, they brought back that Vex scene, to be honest, which I didn't think would ever see the light of day. So, pulling pork wakes. That's what I thought too. Fraction Winky pulling pork wakes me up too.
So from Odin's Day, so that question was from Splinter. From Odin's Day, so at Mylan Games, if the Awoken are both light and dark, and you need both light and dark to open the way to the Dreaming City, does the fact Aldrin needed a shard of the Traveler infer that he lost his light?
Okay, so yes, we needed a mixture of light and dark. Well, the Awoken aren't Guardians. So
that's what my thought was.
Yeah, they're not guardians, so they're not imbued with light. They're probably because they always say they're a mixture, but they're not really light. I'm just thinking. I'm trying to think back to Mara's
Well,
origin story.
Awoken can be guardians. We know that for a fact.
Well, they can die and be guardians, but Aldrin wasn't a guardian, so maybe it was just like he didn't have enough light to open the portal to the Dreaming City.
Yeah.
That was really cool. I actually really, once I sort of understood the Forsaken storyline, that was actually pretty cool, with getting the Shard, the Traveler, and the darkness in his eyes. And we still haven't really worked out where that came from, but it's good.
From Yer, do you think the Veil enemies will be revealed in Shadowkeep? And what time do you think Marasov will make her return in the Destiny universe?
I missed the first part of the question, but Marasov returning.
Do you think so? When do you think Marasov will return to the Destiny universe?
These are always hard because I'll be like, oh, Shadowkeep would make sense. Then like doesn't happen. I mean, we know Eris has been working with Mara about Savathûn, so it would make sense for her to come back and in Shadowkeep in some sense. But I mean, we've been surprised with how they've reintroduced characters throughout a lot of Destiny. Like, Marasov didn't return in Forsaken until like the Dreaming City curse cycle started, right? So, or until it was the oracles, right? So it wasn't there from the beginning. So maybe they'll do something similar. I mean, same with like the 9 and like they introduced that in a different season when they came through. So I don't know anymore. It's all up in the air, really.
And when do you think the Veil enemies will become unmasked?
The Veil, do they mean the pyramid ships? Is that what they call in the Veil, or does that mean something else?
I don't know.
I think that's the implication of the question. I think that's the implication.
Yeah, I mean, that was the leak, was they were going to be called the Veil, and I think that's what people are referring to, the pyramid ships as well. Look, I'm very excited about Shadowkeep because, as Luke Smith said, this is going to set us down the path for the next 4 seasons and beyond, essentially. So, God, they sort of have. I don't know. Everything's pointing to the darkness, but are we going to actually see something like that? Is it going to be a new enemy? If it's something new, it can't just be the Hive again, right? That would be a fucking letdown. What is this thing underneath the moon?
It's just the beautiful thing about this is you being asked a question and answering it with six other questions. It's just peak Destiny lore. I mean, I think you're right on all fronts. Like it comes back to ultimately where they want to drive it, and I don't think any of us have any fucking idea. I'm honestly expecting that Shadowkeep's going to come with a sting in the tail, right? I really think that we're going to see something that we don't expect. And you know what? Actually, while we're talking about fucking Shadowkeep and everything that's going on with it and all of that, how fucking refreshing is it that we haven't seen half of the new content already?
Good.
Right?
Like here's the whole fucking strike.
True.
Here's the whole fucking this. This is what you need to buy because Activision need the money coming in. No, it's fucking, guess what? If you're into the ride, you'll get the surprise.
This is the thing right here is that, like, there's been obviously there's leaks on Destiny the Game Reddit and all that sort of thing, but the big thing is that the only thing we've seen is that fucking rocket launcher. That's the only thing that I have seen is that rocket launcher, and we have to watch the ViDocs and read the TWABs and all that sort of thing because. I mean, we kind of read the news.
Yeah, but even that, it's not like shoved down your throat though. Like if that was with Activision, every fucking man and his dog would know that Shadowkeep's coming with an exotic rocket launcher and it's badass, and you need to pre-order. You need to pre-order and buy silver to get it.
This harkens to a question that we had in Cunt's chat today. I'm not sure either of you guys saw it, but we were basically talking about like Destiny and hype and there's a new release and we're kind of in this zone of like being a Destiny or being a Guardian over the last 4.5-5 years or whatever. How many years now? 5?
2014, 5.
Yeah. Good, quick maths. it has always been
Man, it's not
accompanied
hot.
by, you know, when there's a new release, there's always been this massive fucking hype wagon, you know, like this massive, this is what's happening, pump it up, pump it up. This feels different for some reason, right? Like it seems, you know, like they're still doing the ViDocs and it's kind of more focused about like not the you want to be playing this right now because this, you'll get this. It's all that shit's gone, and it's about we want to make Destiny as appealing as it can be for the core players who are already there.
Yes.
And this is where we're going with it. And that's kind
that's
of
what I
it.
was about to say. It's targeting. It's not like we have to get every gamer ever playing this in September.
Yeah.
It's like we know that our audience is there, and the content we're releasing is for them. This is a ViDoc for them, for us to communicate about what Shadowkeep is, what our plans are for the future. This is not a crazy fucking marketing campaign plastered on the side of every bus to make sure that everyone picks it up.
But see, this is the thing. Like, Soul Discotti and Blood of a Valkyrie have just put two very pertinent comments: is justified hype rather than force fed. And then from Blood of a Valkyrie, it seems less fake and forced. It's more genuine excitement. And that's the thing: is that like the devs, like in the ViDocs before, I don't remember the devs ever looking this happy.
You could go back and
really honestly.
Look, you could probably go back and look. I don't know. I mean, it's easy to paint with a really broad brush when you look at things like that.
It is, yeah, you're right.
But
yeah,
there are a few really fucking stinging barbs that Luke Smith unleashes at the back end of that ViDoc about building a Destiny that we're all proud of, and just kind of just. And
I never thought of it that way.
I sit there
do you
and
see
go,
what I mean?
Oh.
Back to my previous comment, man. Every workplace has it. Destiny, Bungie went
yeah,
through the
well,
same
Bungie
shit,
were under
man.
it, you know, and
there's always
that's
someone
I
got
kind of sit there and I go like, "Thank you, you fucking animal," because for so like if you've followed Destiny for long enough, you know that there is nothing that Luke Smith has ever said that has been by chance. He's like it is. Even you go back and watch the Shadowkeep announcement stuff from a couple of months back, and it is like there are like there is subplots in everything. I love it. It's beautiful.
What did they fucking sell? What did they sell Destiny 2 with? It was fucking energy drinks and fucking tortilla
Pop tarts.
Yeah.
None of that anymore, you fat fucks.
None of that
Get
anymore.
off the Pop Tarts.
You know,
get off the Monster Energy. None of it.
Valid point from Nick and Indoctrine though, Pete. Lack of info makes me slightly paranoid though, because we're not used to this approach. And then followed up by Indoctrine, is there a lack of info because there is a lack of stuff and things, or a lack of info because they want it to be a surprise? I legitimately think that they want it to be a surprise, and that's why they're being very cagey about it, very hush hush about it, and like doing their best to fucking get those leaks pressed out of it.
Yeah. Like I think you know they've done the other approaches. You know, now that they've left Activision, why not do the sleeper approach where they're not really talking about it a huge amount. They're appealing to their current fan base. Their current fan base plays and like, oh my god, Shadowkeep's amazing. And then you know it's almost like that Apex marketing approach. It's just there's no big lead up. It speaks for itself, and I hope that's where we're going. Is that Shadowkeep speaks for itself, and people get into it because of that.
Yeah, well, Forsaken spoke for itself, and Forsaken was fantastic.
Yeah.
Forsaken, and then there were things in Forsaken that people just didn't see coming. The fucking Shattered Throne, that just fucking.
I love that.
That just came out of nowhere.
I think that is the subtext fucking masterstroke of Forsaken. To be honest. It was like, hey, guess what? Sure. Here's this whole new activity that we've just made, and you didn't even know you wanted it. But here it is. And now, you know, there's the 0 hour comes along, and it's a completely different experience again. I can't, like, honestly, the other conversation we had today was talking about raiding and all that sort of stuff. And I'm like, I don't mind doing the raids when we all do it, we all have a laugh, but I'm not heaps hardcore into it. I'm not a hardcore raider, but I am excited to see what this next dungeon is especially after 0 hour, man, because like as much as I really sucked with the jumping part of it and the outside of that fucking wall, I really enjoyed that. I thought it was an incredible piece of content. and just a hell of a lot of fun. So I'm really, really excited to see where they go with that. Anyway, sorry.
I am really, really, really excited for 9 a.m. on the Sunday morning on the 6th. Is that we get to just sit down, have a brew, have a coffee, and watch people
the raid race.
struggle. Watch the raid race. Like I don't think any of us are doing the raid race. And for people who are doing, actually, that's one thing I want to touch on before we finish, is that like we're just going to sit down and watch the raid race, and that's fantastic. But the big thing I want Bungie to do, and it's probably not something that a lot of people want or need, especially those who are raiding, is that at a new DLC launch, I want them to wipe all the bounties that are sitting in every single player's fucking inventory. And if they've got quest bounties that are ready to finish, they wipe the fucking quest bounties too.
Haven't they said something? They're already doing something with that, aren't they not?
I haven't seen anything like that.
No,
like
ages ago.
When I see
they carry over at the level of the previous season. Right?
When I see shit like I can't remember who made the video about the Shadowkeep prep. Someone did.
God.
Some very, very, very large YouTuber did, and that's cool. That's content for him. He gets views and all that sort of sick. But I would love to see Bungie just go, none of your completed bounties, Sweatsicle, thank you. And that I'm sure it's really good video. It's very informative, good content, all that sort of thing. But I would love to see Bungie just go, you don't get any bounties going into the new season. See you later.
I don't know why they need to carry forward.
I thought they made a couple of changes of that already, but a couple slipped through.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I've been watching a few people do it, and I would love to see.
But it's not really gonna matter that much with the way they're doing the raid race.
Yeah,
anyway.
it doesn't matter for the raid race.
No,
but I think
if they're above that modifier, it'll bring them down. But if they're below it, they'll stay at the level that they are below.
So you're just saying if it helps them hit the glass ceiling, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to see everyone at the fucking standard 750 light. Your bounties get wiped, go play the game. Because I think the big issue with this game and the community is that they get the raid, and they're all about the raid race, and that's cool. The raid race is fantastic, and it's turned into this thing that's bigger than Ben-Hur, and that's amazing. But they go through the content in 2 weeks, or they think they've gone through the content in 2 weeks, and then they go, oh man, Destiny's dead. I just wasted how much money, blah. And it's the fucking same shit. It's the same shit.
My eyes nearly rolled out of my fucking head.
I know, mate. I know.
Not at you. I just
me.
this shit. I don't know. Look, we've hammered it to death, and I don't think there's anyone watching the fucking podcast that seriously has that approach. But honestly, be mindful of the fact that the faster you burn through content, it's not endless. It's not, you just enjoy it. Funnily enough, you can play video games and have fun.
You know what?
And that's a thing.
I actually, I think we're coming back around to people just taking their time with Destiny. I think, Destiny came out and then streaming just blew up, and then it just became everything just became a race. And I think people are slowly calming down on that. I think people are slowly like, it's not a race. We're playing games to have fun and talk with our friends. And have
Destiny's one of those games that you can fucking at least for me, that you can just sit back and you can
talk in that fucking.
You can just chat about anything, and you can focus on the game a bit, but it's very. At least for Log and I, you can look at chat, look at the game, look at chat, look at the game, and it doesn't affect it whether you're focusing on the game or focusing on chat. It's very, very easy game to play, and it's very deep.
Honestly,
and all that
it's
sort
just
of thing.
my fucking social outing. That's what it is.
Now, one last thing, ladies and gentlemen, is a tweet from Glad this week in regards to the Jotun almost infinite damage.
It's nuts, man.
It is really, really nuts. for lack of a better term, under the right conditions, that you can fucking melt bosses with the Jotun. It is a bug.
but it's like you got to damage yourself in the same. Yeah, it's I don't know. It just seems
It's
completely
really
cool.
It's a legitimate bug.
It seems to be a legitimate bug. It is like you can do 3,000% damage, I believe, is what the fucking what people were saying numbers wise. Like it's Mylan get from Pete, Mylan Games. Jotun shot damage, shot on boss while the shot also damages you equals more damage than it is a Nagin's burden forced on snipe. Wow.
Probably too late to get patched out too. So fucking God knows what's going to happen in this raid race, man.
Jesus.
They'll disable it.
It's tied to PC due to a higher frame rate. I do hope that Bungie has the sense to disable it before the raid race.
Just delete Jotun.
I like watching a raid race for like upwards of fucking 10 hours. I like watching it for it's fucking ridiculous.
I reckon 6, 7, 8 is probably the sweet spot. Because I don't want anyone to have to like get a fucking catheter to do it. Or whatever.
No. But like it's that's fucking...
How many hours you reckon?
6, 7.
I'd like 6 to 10 hours is probably the fucking
we're not close
spot,
enough.
I think.
We're not close enough to be able to. Are we gonna do bets again like we did last time? We all got it wrong.
I don't think we're close enough, but I will say that I hope CG does well again. I hope Carolina Gamer and those guys do well again. That was
story.
really good. Really good.
Right. Have we talked ourselves to a standstill?
I think we're done. Unless you guys have got something else.
I've got something I want to say. And it's not about Destiny or anything else. It's just about the fact that I'm genuinely appreciative of this show. And maybe I've had a few beers, but to be honest,
everyone strap in. This is just expect this like 100 times more at the PAX fucking community event.
Yeah, I'm going to be the guy coming up to you going, "Hey, you know what?
I love you.
I love you. What's your name again, mate? I love you, mate. I love you, mate." No, look, honestly, we're all in a, there's a little bit of fucking malcontent going around, and we're all a little bit upset with life and all that sort of shit. But before we fucking close out the show, I think it's worth just saying that, from my perspective anyway, this is the high point of my week. So as much as we all get in here and fucking talk shit and be pissed off, and it probably sounds like we're all pissed off when you're listening back
all
to
the
it,
time.
That is absolutely not the case. We're like, we do vent and we pride ourselves on being absolutely ourselves at all times. And sometimes that's a good thing. Sometimes it's a fucking bad thing. But this is the podcast we've always hosted, and you'll get what you're fucking given, yeah? Group hugs in chat. I'm fine with that, man.
I mean, when you said that, I just sort of, Sloth burping in the microphone, vaping loud. Like, I'm pretty sure he's not fucking hiding anything.
Yeah, and I mean, put your hand up if you haven't said the word cunt in this episode of the podcast.
Oh yeah, I fucking dropped it.
Yeah, you've unloaded a few. Matthew. I'm going to
right.
You unloaded a few, Matthew.
They were fucking screamers.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, to the people who hosted, rated us, followed us, resubbed, new subbed, thank you very, very much. It has been incredibly cool. Thank you for supporting us monetarily to keep the podcast going. Your subscriptions and bits and donations, they go to running the podcast, uploading it to Spotify, uploading it to like keeping our running costs going. So thank you very, very much. To our audio only listeners, please continue to enjoy yourselves. Thank you very much. Let us know if we've missed anything. Question Cruise Alpha Points on Twitter, twitter.com/DDU_podcast, at Log Power Slave, at Mylan Games, at Real Time Sloth. If you are watching on YouTube, first of all, get the fuck off that platform. Do not support it anymore. Fuck off. Second of all,
Use
if
an ad
you
blocker.
feel the need,
Fuck him.
use an ad blocker for fuck's sake, except for Mylan's videos. But ladies and gentlemen, if you are watching there, please hit the like button, subscribe. Let us know how we went on the podcast today. If my vaping is too much for you,
Oh,
well,
God,
you can
please.
fuck off.
Nah,
but
please. Just all I want is negative comments about vaping in the
right.
But the
Just-
thing is, it almost fuels them because they're like, I read a comment that was like, never stop vaping and burping. Sloth. Who are you?
Yeah, but see, that's the thing.
Right.
There's like, I don't know when it happened, but fucking now there's factions in our audience that kind of like, they want to see Sloth shit me off. Maybe everyone just wants anarchy, I think, is ultimately what the fucking deal is here, right? But
Anarchy.
you know, there will be one guy that will be like, oh, don't stop vaping, Sloth. I just want to see Log's fucking head explode. And then there'll be one guy that'll be like, I can't fucking handle the vaping.
Yeah,
And then
but
there'll
the
be
thing
one
is-
guy that'll be like, actual podcast starts in 15 minutes and 2 seconds. And his
Right.
name's
That thing
Ladies-
said, I almost thought we were going to break up as a podcast because that was the closest I've seen Log like, I give up. I can't handle this anymore. He almost walked out.
yeah.
Right.
No, I'm-
If you're on YouTube, let us know in the comments below how we went. Hit the like, hit the subscribe
Or
button,
don't. Or
hit the
don't.
bell for no fucking notifications whatsoever. And you know what? If you're watching on YouTube, just come watch us live on a Friday night. Hey, if you
Yeah,
can,
it's
9
fun.
p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Come watch us on a Friday night. We drink, we yell at each other. I vape and burp. Log fucking snorts into his mic and carries
Just
on
gonna
like
hang
a
out
pork
in my
chop.
purple
And Matt
room with
loses
me
his
fucking
shit.
Transformers. Stormy mates.
Right.
Anyway.
Until the next time, we have been the Destiny Down Under podcast. Follow us on the Twitters, join the Discord, and until then, we'll catch you later. Have a great weekend. Ring your mum. If you don't have a mum, ring your dad. If you don't have parents, ring your siblings. If you don't have siblings, then ring your best friend. If you don't have a best friend, well, I just can't fucking help you.
Oh, I got a bit sad at the end.
Yeah, you fucking. Oof.
Matt,
Matt. Go.
the law will find you. Actually, maybe it won't find you. Because the thing is, it's going to be really hard to spot your favorite channel with all the unverification going on. You'll never find the law. YouTube's buried it. Don't worry
The
about
law
it.
may find
It's
you,
over.
but verification will not. Goodbye.
Yeah. That was my worst
Ladies and
outro
gentlemen,
ever.
stay-
That was bad.
Stand by
Man.
for a raid. We're going to go visit for the live channel. Stand by for a raid. We're going to go visit. I am T-Bot. We'll catch you later. Thank
Peace.
you, guys. Bye.
I stole your outro. Fucking suck it.
Hey.